Have you ever had this experience? You go out and buy a new car, and then when you're driving around, all of a sudden you see so many of the same type of car that you just purchased. Now, is it because there literally all of a sudden are more of that type of car on the road between the time you didn't own the car and now when you own the car? Or is it now that you're paying attention to it? And the answer is that you are focused on seeing more of that car around. And today's episode, I'm going to share with you why that is and how you can utilize that mechanism within your brain to transform your life and see more of what you want to see within your life. And so the mechanism I'm talking about is a reticular activating system. And so this is a bundle of neurons within your brain, and its primary job is to filter out information that you receive from your brain. Now, every day you are bombarded with information, completely bombarded. You, even just right now, you are listening to me. There's probably background noise that's going on. You may be driving while you're doing this, so now you're paying attention to the road. There may be things running across the road, cars going by, street signs. Maybe somebody's talking. Maybe you have other things going on. You have the sun going on, shadows. Maybe there's clouds in the sky. There is information all around you. And if you had to pay attention to everything that's going on in your environment, your brain would be completely overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. It's impossible for your brain to process everything within your environment. So what does it do? It learns how to filter what is most important and most pertinent to you. And how does it do that? Based on what your subconscious beliefs are. So going back, and if you are new to my podcast, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind runs 95% of your thoughts, your behaviors, everything you do as you interact with the world. And the thing is that it was formed between ages 0 and 7. And it was formed based on what you saw at that time, experiences that you had, people who were in an authority position in your life at that time. And it took all that information and made it truth for you. And then has become your programming in which you have been running on for maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 years if you have never consciously become aware of what your programming is. Now, the reticular activating system will take whatever beliefs you have and search for your environment to make them true. It will literally search for evidence for whatever you desire to find proof and truth within that. And so that can be an amazing skill if your subconscious beliefs are wired in a way that it promotes growth within you and it promotes you moving forward towards something you desire. However, if you have self-defeating subconscious beliefs, if you tend to think very negatively, then your reticular activating system will work in a way to also prove that as true. So you can see that it can either be your biggest gift or maybe your worst enemy, depending on where your belief systems are. Now, this is the power that we want to harness, because if you're not aware that this is happening, you will literally find evidence for every negative thought that you've ever had. For instance, if one of your beliefs is that you are not a good public speaker, maybe you had an instance when you were 7 that you got in front of a group of people and maybe it didn't go well. Maybe you just couldn't speak well and it just felt awful. And now you've told yourself that I'm not good at speaking in front of people. Well, you most likely have had experiences that may have proven that true later on in your life because that has become your belief. You may have maybe stumbled on a word when you're speaking to somebody and you're like, see, you validated that belief that you had that you are not good at speaking. And so our reticular activating system is always working to prove our beliefs as true, to prove whatever we intend for it to be directed at as truth and to filter out all the other noise. And so if you want to grow in your life, you want to create a different experience. You want to train that reticular activating system to see everything that can create growth in your life and to filter out all the things that do not serve you in moving you in the direction that you deserve. And so today I want to share with you 3 steps so that you can start to train your reticular activating system. And the biggest thing for doing that is going to be retraining your subconscious beliefs. Now, I'm not going to get into that too much here, but what I'm going to share with you today are 3 steps that will help towards that. There are other things that will help retrain your subconscious beliefs, but today I'm going to give you 3 steps that you can start to train your reticular activating system. And then I'm going to give you an activity that you can see how it works in your life. So number 1, what you want to do to train your reticular activating system to serve you is get very clear on your vision. What do you want out of your life? If your goal is to maybe get a new job and that you get very clear on like what job you want, where do you want to work, what does it look like, who are you working for? You get very clear on what you desire. And now you want to visualize that. So visualize the job. Maybe you visualize yourself stepping out of the car in that parking lot, walking in. You visualize yourself greeting everybody in the business. Visualize yourself doing the certain job that you're desiring. You visualize maybe the paycheck that you're taking home, that which is significantly higher than the one that you've had. You visualize the freedom that you feel in this new job and feeling like you have room for growth. And you anchor that in. And not only visualize this and get as clear on that as you can using all your senses, but now you want to, as a 3rd step, anchor an emotion to that. So imagine you get this job that you have desired for so long. It is your dream job. How do you feel? What does that elicit within you? So again, if this is your dream job, you may feel like you are so joyful. You're overjoyed that you get to have this job. Maybe it provides you all kinds of freedom in your life and you just feel expansive and lighter that now you can spend more time with your kids and you're making more money. So now you can do vacations that you've always wanted to, and it just affords you this whole new lifestyle. Now think about how that would make you feel. And some emotions maybe you feel are peace, joy, growth, and you're just feeling so expansive and light in your heart. And now really anchor into those emotions. And now that is the 3 steps you can use to really train your reticular activating system. But where the magic happens is that you're going to start noticing things. The more you train this consistently and you do this and getting very clear on your vision, you visualize it, and then you anchor emotions into it, the more you're going to see little signs in your environment, just like the cars that you were seeing when you got the new car. You're going to start seeing things that are in alignment with that new job. Maybe it's somebody who works for that company is wearing the logo on the subway and they're sitting next to you and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the job. Like that's the company I want to work for. Or maybe you just start seeing the name of it. Or maybe you see an opportunity for some training that would help you get into that position. You will start seeing things in your environment that are in alignment with your desired outcome, with your desired life, your desired emotions. And that is truly the power of the reticular activating system, because it's going to filter out all the noise. You are directing it. You are the creator of your life. You are telling it where to focus your attention. And you're telling it to filter out everything that has nothing to do with this, because this is what I want in my life. And that is truly the power of the reticular activating system. Now, like I said, if you have a tendency to be self-defeating, have negative thoughts and beliefs, you again will find evidence for that in your life. So it's however you train your brain. And again, this is bringing conscious awareness to where your thoughts are and retraining that. And that is how we begin to reprogram the subconscious mind. We start with a conscious practice, and then we start to embed it with the emotions. And then before we know it, we're literally rewiring the brain to have a different experience. And so your brain has maybe been wired for a certain way, and you've maybe trained your reticular activating system a certain way. So again, it's going to take some time and consistency and some practice to get to a point where you can retrain it to be serving for you. But I want you to understand the power of this. And so it may not be this big life goal, but even just something in the morning, starting out with a daily intention of like, I'm going to see reasons to feel joy today. Like maybe that's how you wake up tomorrow morning and you just say to yourself, I'm going to see reasons to feel joy today. And then you just surrender and release to your reticular activating system to find evidence for that. Just setting that intention allows your reticular activating system to go to work for you. But remember, it's going to find evidence and proof for you to be right. So if you set the intention in the morning that there's some reason to find and feel joy today, it will figure out a way for you to find that. And so I want to share this with you because there's so much power in that reticular activating system, but the power can only be harnessed in the direction that we desire if we are aware of where our thoughts are, where our beliefs are, and where we see our life going. So I want to share with you just a simple activity that you can do. And so if you're driving right now or you're going to be driving, I want you to think of a very specific car. So maybe it is a red Honda Civic. And you are going to picture that car. You're going to get it very clear in your head. A red Honda Civic. What does it look like? What would you expect to see with a red Honda Civic? Get it very clear. And then the next time you drive, pay attention to how many red Honda Civics you happen to see. I guarantee you're going to start noticing more and you're going to feel like, I had no idea there were this many red Honda Civics driving in the streets. Again, it could be any car. You pick whatever you want to. It could be white Jeeps, whatever you want it to be. But use that little experiment to realize that your reticular activating system is working at all times. It is absolutely powerful, and you want to harness that power for good in your life. So let me know. I would love to hear your feedback and your comments if you do this little experiment. And also if you do the visualization and the 3 steps to really harness the power of the reticular activating system. And if you feel like you're ready to start creating a little bit more change in your life, create more peace in your life, you can download my free guide. It's Reclaim Your Inner Peace, Top Tips for Nervous System Harmony and Self-Loyalty. It's in the show notes below, and it will give you 8 small habits you can integrate into your daily routine to feel more peace in your life and start transitioning your nervous system to a place of regulation. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this helps move your life forward. And again, I would love to hear from you. If there are any topics or anything you would like to hear on this podcast, send me a message, connect me. I would love to hear from you.